Hey everyone, this is Elizabeth here, and I am bringing an updated Towa list with the Set 11 expansion cards. So if you don't know Towa, on her front side, she bursts 3. You look at the top 5 for a Mira or a Fu. You add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck, and you awaken when you have 10 or more black cards in your warp. And she is untap 1, draw 1. And on her front side, once per turn, you can choose 3 cards in your warp and put them back in your discard to give one of your Miras crit. And then she has this activate battle once per turn. You can pay 1 to choose one card in your hand, place it in your discard, and choose 1 keyword skill on an opponent's battle card and negate their for the duration of the turn. I never remember if it's battle or the turn.
It's the turn.
It is the turn. So we'll start with the new boy here. I mean, he's kind of an old boy. He's Mira, which is what the deck's around. But it is a unison. This is the new card. So, as you see, he has no cost restrictions. So you can play him turn 1, or turn 2.
Or turn 3.
Or turn 3. Or turn 4. Mm-hmm. He can't attack, though, if he has 2 or fewer markers on it. So, generally, you won't be attacking with it right away. He has a +1. You may choose 1 card in your hand and send it to your warp if you do draw 1 card. So, this can help if you have a Towa in hand or something else. Put in your warp, draw a card. And then he has this -2, activate battle. For each card in your warp, he gets +5k. So, he very quickly could become a... I don't know, 45k, 50k. You know, he's essentially like the other main Mira in this deck, except in unison form. I have never gotten to play him to use this because he is quickly targeted to be murdered. Because, as said, if he starts getting big, then he's a giant threat. And it's only a -2, so it can happen very quickly. So next, we'll pull out the Mira kind of package here. We have this 2-drop that you essentially just play for free. You can play it for free if you have no other battle cards, and then you can pay 3 to put a 5-drop on top of it. So you will put this boy here on top of it. He is double strike, and he has this Union Absorb for free that you put the Toa underneath him, put a Mira on top of him.
From the warp.
From the warp. No.
Toa from the warp, Mira
Toa from the warp, Mira from the deck. 7 cost Mira from the deck. So this is a pretty good combo to get this out on turn 3. And it can either play this boy. This is kind of your main target. When you Union Absorb to play this, for the turn it gets double strike and you make your opponent warp 3 from their hand. And the other... What are you looking for?
I didn't know where the 4th one went. There are 4 of those.
There's 4.
There he is.
Yep.
4th one.
And the other main target after this...
Kind of your backup.
Kind of your backup target is this boy who is a double strike. And when you play him, you draw a card, and then at the end of turn, you get to pick up an energy. Mm-hmm. So you can also overwhelm this guy for 1, overwhelm 7 for 1. So he also just pays back what you paid for him. This one is overwhelm 4 for 1, but you don't get the double strike or the sending cards to warp. He is great, though, because if you haven't played with him before, as said with this Mira Unison... When he attacks, he gets +5k for every card in your warp. So you can kind of see the synergy going on here. He also comes in active mode, so you can swing with this and then go into the ability to put him on top. Mm-hmm. So as said, this is kind of the main chain of the game here. We do have... this Mira as a backup, kind of. We debated pulling this out or replacing it with something else. We ultimately ended up pulling out the Dabura and a few other things for this new Unison card, and leaving a couple of these in. Don't know if that's the right move or not. You might play differently. Maybe you want 2 Daburas in. But this is kind of just another target that you can play Overwhelm for 3 for free, and then you just pay to put the Toa under it and put the, one of these big boys on top of it. Speaking of which, you probably want to know what Toas you have options for here. We either have the 1-drop Twisted Sister. So this is a counterplay. You just play this card. When she's played, you draw 1, and then you put 1 card from your opponent's drop area back into their deck. So that can help if you are playing against a deck that uses stuff out of their drop a lot. Ribrianne.
Draw monkeys.
Yeah, Master Roshi's Kamehameha.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Or just throw the dormant potential back if you need to, Then there's this Umbral Invitation Toa, which is an dark Overwhelm for 4 for 1. And she will steal something from the other player's battlefield that is, I think, energy cost 3 or less. You gain control of it. Forever.
That's just yours now.
And this Toa kind of is in the same vein. That's Overwhelm 4. You don't have to pay. And then when this card comes into play, I think it's a battle card with energy cost of 2 or less, and you gain control of it.
So they're slightly different. The Time Ruler's free, but you have a worse cost restriction.
Yeah. So you have 6 Toas. With as much as you burst on the Unawakened side and draw, especially with some of these different draw engine pieces like this or some other cards you'll see, you'll get some of these into your warp pretty quickly, pretty easily. And if they're in your hand, you can just combo them into your drop and then overwhelm something.
Or use your new Unison card.
Or, as said, yes, the Unison directly puts something into warp. So then we have some support cards. We have this Boo that you're literally only playing for this 1-drop here, this 1 cost, where you pay 1, you have to put him in your warp.
Yeah, you warp him from your drop.
You warp him from your drop, and then at the end of turn, you discard 1 and draw 2. So it's really just draw engine here. And you can get him back with this side. So when he's in your warp, you can bring him back to your drop and do it all over again.
It's once per turn, though.
Once per turn. And then this Not Even a Scratch, which is a negate, which you might want sometimes, counterattack. But he also has this one cost ability that you draw a turn. You put him into warp. So these are some of your main extra draw power.
Once per turn.
Yeah, you could do all 3 of these.
That's why we have a bit of a split there, is because you can't spam the Boo.
Yeah. And we used to have 4 of them, but that was one of the things we cut for that Mira, because that Mira is also a draw engine for you. Or at least a cycling engine. We have this Power Burst just because, solid negate. It also brings you back a 1-drop, and it has sparking, so you don't have to hold up energy. You do have to have things in your drop, which is kind of give or take in this deck, depending on where it is. But if you're Awakened, you usually have 2 or 3 things over in your drop, and you just have to add a few more to get up to Power Burst.
Black doesn't have much better.
Yeah, as said, this is kind of what it is for Black. We have this and Not Even a Scratch. So really, you're just kind of hoping you can murder them before this. You need it. Time Regulator Vegeta here. He is also part of a draw engine. Get him out on turn 2 or turn 3. And then whenever you overwhelm, you get to take 1 to 2 cards from your warp, put them back under your deck, and then you get to draw 1. This is really helpful for... Let me see if I can pull him out here. If you have that... Here he is.
The 5-cost Mira.
This 5-cost Mira. And you need this. If you have this out already, you could overwhelm something, take this, put it back into your deck, and then search for it with this. I have been in several games where I've gone to play this and looked at my deck and didn't have another one of these. Because I charged one was in my drop, and then the other 2 were in my life or something like that.
There's a reason we play 6 of them.
Yeah. So this helps make sure you can keep some in your deck. And also just great card draw. You can also put things like your super combos, other things back into your deck. Then we have kind of turn 1, turn 2 Overwhelm card here. Just kind of a quick, easy Overwhelm for 3. So, you burst for 3. You can Overwhelm this turn 1. Make them discard a card. You can swing for 15, depending on what you're up against.
And it's searchable with your leader.
And it's searchable with the leader. So kind of an extra hit. That just makes an easy Overwhelm turn 1. Puts you at a little bit of advantage.
Just a solid guy.
Because if you can't draw cards, might as well make them discard cards.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this Fu here as part of the Overwhelm package. He's just a generally all-around great card.
And another hit for your leader.
Another hit for a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelm 5 for 1. He does have double strike.
Kill them unisons.
And he sends one of their battle cards to warp, and I think there's no restriction on that.
Nope.
So
doesn't ignore barrier, but
this can also be a really great late game play, because sometimes they just have like a blocker or a big Chungus on the board that you just want to play and get out of the way, right?
That sends Shenron off the table easy.
Yeah, it could help you, wait another turn if you need to get out some other big boys, or it could help you, get out that blocker so you can get your hits in. Another part of the Overwhelm package, and the last kind of main piece here, is this SS3 Son Goku Mana on Mission. This is also a newer card.
Set 11.
Set 11, that we've added to this deck, I think since last time we did a profile. And it's just Overwhelm 6, critical double strike. I mean, you can't get much better. It's essentially free, right? So, it's good for a really good late game hit.
If only it was a Fu, we could find it off your leader.
I know. It is unfortunate that's Goku.
I've said that so many times.
Yeah.
Not just about this card.
And then last is our super combo, which is just it becomes active when you have 5 cards in the warp, which usually happens by turn 2.
And your unison helps set that up even better.
Yeah. So usually by turn 2 you burst twice and overwhelmed once or twice.
I was trying out the Prince Strikes Back super combo, but the fact that you have to be at 4 life kind of stinks for him in this deck, since you can awaken.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your life is at.
Yeah, since you can awaken when you have 10 things in the drop, which can happen anywhere between turn, 2 to 4.
Yeah. And now with the unison in there, people are attacking your life even less. So just getting your super combo set up as soon as you have your warp set up is super nice.
Yeah, so that's Toa there. It's a pretty straightforward deck. We've added a lot of different things and different kind of fun options you can go through, so I recommend trying it out. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.